Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And we're live. Screw you, Steven, with the late and the gay. I am your host, Jay Fry, and with me, as per usual, is Sean. How's it going, Sean?
Yeah, it's Monday. We're here. Yeehaw.
Yeah, by the skin of your freaking teeth.
Yeah, well.
And Garrick
still
is with
happy.
us. Garrick, how's it going, Garrick?
I'm alive! Hey guys, happy Monday, and happy belated Mother's Day to all the ladies out there who don't listen.
I was gonna say we have so few ladies listening that we brought on the demographic just for some representation. How's it going today? Special guest, surrogate.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
How's it feel to be a
People
diversity
came in
hire?
hot on those.
Wait, how does it feel to be
Oh
what?
man.
A diversity hire.
If only I were getting paid.
What? The fat bucks
I
we
wish
get
you
out
would have
of this
waited
thing?
for that one, because that would have been
Yeah.
like a great segue into CIA.
True.
Did you see the new video?
No, I have not.
It's a second video of her where they doubled down on it. So for those of you who aren't aware, we're late, also shut up. But the CIA last week put out a video of, I don't know, Conchita Gonzalez, I'm guessing is going to be her name. An officer at the CIA who worked her way up, probably with scholarships and diversity quotas the entire way. But last week she came in and said she's a cisgender, hetero mother and CIA employee. And this week she checked all those same boxes, reiterating them a second time, and included that she got to where she was based on merit. And 2 seconds later, her award for diversity was shown in her CIA office. Somebody moved their cat 1 inch away from the microphone.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, it's not mine this time. I'm pleasantly pleased.
Yeah. Not that I mean, it's a soothing noise.
She really likes me.
That's someone asked you. So the CIA has doubled down on this woke nonsense, and we covered it last week. But just absolutely just couldn't keep their foot out of their own mouth. And they mentioned repeatedly, both with her and this other guy who was he's the CIA librarian. And he is both homosexual and, I don't know, retarded or something. I forget what his other check mark was. But some sort of minority or something. And both of them happened to mention that Brennan was the best boss. And they came in under his leadership. Because the gay guy had mentioned that he had a rainbow lanyard. Because that's what I want from my boss.
What seems to be taking a miss on everybody who's faux outraged about these diversity ads from the CIA is what they're trying to do. Do you really think the CIA is woke?
Well, probably. I mean, think about how many colleges they've wheedled their way into, and
Well, that's just it.
they've got to pick up something.
Do you think at their core they embrace wokeness?
Absolutely not. They are the personification of Big Brother.
Exactly. So the thing that gets me about these ads are they are a blatant ploy to get more resources into the woke faithful, let's say, the true believers, so that they can have more assets in these with these core believers, so that they can both mine them for data and utilize them in other nefarious nonsense that the CIA does by charter.
What was it? Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? The Toronto Pride Parade. The group that is inclusive booted the police. Do you think they would do the same thing to the CIA?
They would have to know the CIA is there.
They don't. Well, they're all
Exactly.
CIA. So.
Right. They're all feds. So,
Mhm.
but that's my point. Is that they're using it to recruit actual true believers, to data mine them in their friend sets and their association links,
Yeah.
both to utilize them as a tool and to collect intelligence on those same organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, but
That's-
I would also say that the CIA is probably a leftist organization to begin with.
Well, they're authoritarian. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're communist in the sense that they're striving for some sort of utopia.
No, there's an agenda beyond the standard agendas, and the CIA is part of the beyond standard agendas. Like, their job literally is investigate overseas. That's their entire
Investigate is an interesting word.
Well, torture is a little bit too forward for most
As
people.
I say, I don't think it has anything to do with investigation. It has to do with manipulation.
Okay, but still, it's all the entire mandate. They don't have a CIA police force because the CIA cannot operate domestically. So everything they do is outside the USA, but everything they're pointing at is internal to the United States.
Cannot or is not supposed to.
Is not allowed to. Legally is not allowed to. Like, you can't flash a CIA badge for access anywhere in the United States.
Right, but that doesn't mean that they don't do ops here.
Investigative waterboarding. It's totally different than investigating waterboarding.
They can do stuff domestically, but they have to be like, they can be given access to crime scenes and stuff like that, but it's usually done in tandem with the FBI. The FBI will get the access and then just give that access to the CIA. So you're right. You can't, as an independent CIA agent, you can't just flash a badge and get access to something, but you can flash a badge to the actual authorities, and more than likely they're going to go ahead and let you in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're just, it's absolutely ridiculous. And the only reason we know the CIA is as fucked up as it is because the CIA tells us. These are promotions for the CIA. This is on CIA's Twitter. This is on CIA's Facebook. The reason we know operations fell apart in CIA control is because of the CIA. Like, if something happens in the FBI, the NSA tells you about it. If something happened in the NSA, the FBI tells you about it. All the fuck-ups from CIA comes from CIA. They put those reports out there themselves. Probably given to you by not CIA operative Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, because why would a Vanderbilt be associated with the CIA? That's ridiculous.
Why would he intern at the CIA? Mm-hmm. He actually used to talk about it a lot more. I don't know if any of you are exactly my age, but when I was in school, Anderson Cooper was on the in-school news system, which was called Channel 1. It was Anderson Cooper, Lisa Ling, Sway, who was the diversity hire, which wasn't Lisa Ling, surprisingly. She was actually decent. Sway went to MTV. Lisa Ling went to CBS or something, and Anderson Cooper's at CNN, and they're all plants. Every single one of them.
All Mockingbird agents, as you saying?
There's something, all right. But what do we have on the actual the docket? I see we've got the CIA and McDonald's, so we're going to talk about the.
Well, I mean, the second order effects are what I wanted to talk about, and how that how the CIA's current woke recruitment drive, let's call it, is actually not as face value, because nothing the CIA does is at face value. But the same thing for McDonald's. Those McDonald's that are giving $50 for interviews, well, they have to report those on tax forms. So in order to say that they paid these people, they have to get their information. So they give the interview, get the applicant's tax information, so they can say, oh, we just got to file this because, you know, we're making a payment here, so we got to do this. You know, no obligation or anything like that. And, you know, people are grabbing free $50, right? Quote unquote free $50. Well, what will happen is McDonald's will go ahead and offer them a job at whatever the going rate of McDonald's is. And it will be less than they're collecting in unemployment. So when they sanely and somewhat intelligently refuse to take that job and then go to collect unemployment instead, McDonald's will have reported to the tax man that they've paid these people the $50. Oh, and by the way, we also offered them a job and they refused, so therefore they don't qualify for unemployment anymore.
I don't think it goes that far, does it? I mean,
I believe it does.
Like on the tax form, it says check offered a job.
Well, in order to qualify for unemployment, you have to have been looking for a job and cannot refuse a job that isn't offered to you that would be adequate.
It varies by state, but I know in Louisiana you cannot reject a job whatsoever. But our unemployment rate is so goddamn low, it's ridiculous. But that's kind of also the point.
Tennessee can.
In Texas, it has to be a reasonable amount. Like, you can't hold out for the job that pays more or equal to what you have. You have to take, I think it's like 40% kind of barrier. Like, if I got laid off of my job at $43,000 a year or whatever, I wouldn't have to take something that's $15,000 a year just because it was offered to me. But I also couldn't not take something $30,000.
Well, in my state, it's I think the stipulation is you can reject it for safety concerns, but you have to have like documentation proving that you raised the concerns. Like you have to show that, yeah, OSHA got contacted and they're conducting an investigation, or police or whatever it calls on. And but no matter if it's more or less than what you make, you have to accept offer.
Michigan is really, it's like that. It's like not only that, but you have to submit proof that you went to 2 interviews, or you applied to 2 jobs that week. But in Tennessee, you don't, because you only get 24 weeks of unemployment. Like, that's it. Steven, it is Diz. You Diz?
Yeah.
What the? He says, I like this Texan guest. This guest sounds like Diz. That's because it is Diz.
Oh,
Come to the after hours so I can call you a fucking retard. Then I just realized I didn't actually say your name. I called you the surrogate. so all right. I forgive you this time. You idiot. I just
it's a second order effect of people cannot, for whatever reason, the American populace just can't seem to think things to the next logical step. The CIA doing woke shit. It's not because they're woke. That's not why the CIA does shit.
Well, there's a term for that.
McDonald's offering to pay people for interviews is going to mean that you're going to not collect the unemployment that you've been living off of for the last year and a half.
Oh, what the hell's the term for that? Biden voter.
Yeah, pretty much. Just can't seem to think beyond the very surface level of anything.
Yeah, but that's the cycle that they're trapped in. Is because they vote for something. Okay, you're talking about a level of population that is always in need. And they are kept in need by things like this. So they don't know. And it's, I mean, at some level, they should have gained some sort of smarts regarding that particular facet of their lives, but they've learned how to game the system. They haven't learned how to beat the system or rise above the system. So that's what they're doing. They're just doing what it is that seems like a good thing for everybody, and the people who need it, they need it. So they're not looking past it.
Well, it can be forgiven for anybody under like 34. I mean, we had the Bush years, which were not the greatest.
Speaking of the CIA,
speaking of son of CIA, and then we were just coming out of all the issues we had with the Clinton administration at the start of Bush. And then by the end of Bush, we had the housing crisis. So we had the bubble pop. And then at the end of Bush, we had the housing crisis. And that led into, speaking of CIA, Obama, who really didn't have the drastic impacts like we just had between Trump and Biden. Like every year of the Trump administration, I had credit card companies throwing themselves at me. Without request, they were throwing up huge numbers on my credit cards. Like, would you like an increase? I'm like, no, I don't need an increase. You're actually making me look bad at this point. We'll give you an increase. No, stop it. I don't need $30,000. That's not helpful to my credit as it is. But the offers were being made. I'm sure you guys had similar issues because my credit's not the greatest. But everyone's employment packages were a little better. Groundbreaking unemployment levels in the positive way, unlike what Biden is currently giving us. And that lasted through 2019. So they had to create a fake freaking this very real and accurate danger to our health, a 0.003% death that shut down our entire economy. To make it look worse. And now Biden is facing cyber criminals who are attacking the pipeline infrastructure. Have you guys heard about that?
Yes, I have.
Garrick, have you read the news?
Now, you know, I really don't.
I don't think so.
Well, what's interesting is it directly affects you the most.
Technically, no. It's not happening inside of Tennessee. We're part of the list.
I'm talking about Raggle. Because it's a pipeline from Houston, from Texas City, up past D.C. and into New Jersey, with the side runners that lead out through Kentucky and Tennessee.
And how are they? What are they doing to it?
They got hit with ransomware.
Yeah, malware ransomware. Yeah.
Oh.
So that pipeline is shut down.
Yeah, they're going to go back to manual, I have a feeling.
Well, Mike is actually, he brought back a point. He said just go around to interview at every McDonald's for $50 each and do it for 40 hours each week. The guy who was responsible for this $50 per interview owns like 600 McDonald's throughout the Florida Panhandle.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how many McDonald's he owns.
Yeah. It's like, oh, are you hurting there, buddy, with your 600 franchises?
Well, he is because he can't get enough employees to meet the demand. So technically,
Right.
he is hurting.
Speaking of wild things people are trying to do to meet a demand, there is, I don't know if you guys have heard where you're at, but a shortage of tanker drivers to deliver gasoline and other related materials.
25% of the driving tanker fleet is sidelined right now because they can't find drivers and or mechanics.
So, this company in Texas called Sisu is offering 14 grand a week for tanker drivers.
Good Lord. I mean, tanking is the most difficult. It's tanking and followed up like super closely by live hauling. Are probably the two most not dangerous, particular to the driver, but the sloshing liquids, be it gasoline or milk or anything like that, can cause inertial issues for the driver. And live hauling, you're responsible for your cargo's life.
Well,
You hit a bump and you kill 3 cows, you're paying for 3 cows.
this particular industry, this particular company, the things that they haul, their typical weekly salary is between 9 and 10 grand. But I mean, they've bumped it to 14 grand a week.
Wait, grand?
$14,000 a week.
But a regular driver makes 9,000 a week?
No.
So
No.
900 to 1,300.
9,000 in this industry, and they've bumped it to 14,000.
Oh, okay. So the company versus
A
the
regular hard running, like food cargo transporter type of driver makes about 3,000 a week.
Really?
Yeah, but it's a CDL that you have to maintain, and for fuel you have to have a couple of I forget what they call them, but a couple of bump ups to your standard CDL.
Hazmat. Yeah, they're hazmat entries.
Plus, you have to do the pumping when you get to do the delivery. So you're the one who has to do all the safety measures to not only haul, but you also have to fill the tanks at the destination.
Right, but gasoline is not the bulk of that industry. A lot of it is sand and other things that are needed for.
There's goods like for Amazon or Walmart that are just shipping various products from warehouse to warehouse or to stores.
If any of you are sitting at a computer, just Google 14,000 and then SISU. Mm-hmm. And it'll pull up several articles.
When I went to get my trucking license, we did it in the state of Indiana. And I passed everything. And then because I live in Michigan, I had to go back to Michigan and do all the tests over again. And I failed the air brakes test by 3 answers. But they corrected my air brakes test right in front of me. And she goes, do you want to come back and do it or do it again right now? And I'm like, I'll do it again right now. So I passed it the second time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And then they didn't hire me because of blood pressure.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah. They're like, you pass, but we don't trust you. Thanks, Obama. No, this was early in the Bush administration.
Driver fitness is a category of a thing that can get your company into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I had passed, but I barely passed, and so they didn't accept me. But because they wouldn't hire me, and I passed the class, they waive the $5,000 fee for the testings and the learning process. They were offering a $10,000 signing bonus, but you only get $5,000 of it because the other $5,000 goes to your training in like this super bullshitty way. So the first $5,000 they pay off $2,500 of your training and give you $2,500, and then after 90 days you get the other half, and you're and paid off. But the Sally Toys is getting the Sisu business apparently.
My mind was blown when I read that today. It's like 14 grand a week.
Well, a lot of that is for insurance purposes because every truck, from what I has to have a minimum of $1 million coverage, and that's not
Yeah,
even
but that's
including,
covered through the company. That's not covered through the driver. That's covered through Sisu. All of the bonds, insurance, everything. That's hell. Unless
Are
you're
you
an
sure the
owner-operator.
drivers aren't responsible for their own bonds? The drivers
She
might
would
be-
know.
Well, I'm just curious because I'm thinking you're right. I mean, most of those expenses would get absorbed by the company, but I think the driver themselves has to carry their own bond.
Now, if you are an owner-operator and you bought your own truck and you take that truck and you go to work for a company, no, still no. I mean, you can lease on, but your insurance is under their insurance. Your bond is their bond. And then you just have an agreement with them. Now, if
Okay,
if you have your own company, you have your own insurance and your own bond.
So about owner operators, are they really like the first ones to be called?
In what?
Or
In
because
what
I see
respect?
like you make like what's the last one I passed? Like it was like it was 56 to 59 cents a mile, or like $1.10 for owner operators. So that's basically me buying a $250,000 truck, but I'm making $250,000 a year, so it's not like a huge output of expense, but you are responsible for maintaining it. Am I going to be the first in line or towards the top of the line for being sent out on a run as an owner operator, or are they going to make sure their trucks are first used? And I'm at the top of the list once we get to owner operators. Like,
That's
because
not
I
how
always figured,
that's not how dispatching decisions are made. Owner operators get more of a say-so in what they do or do not take based on how much money they're going to make out of it, which is a percentage typically. I mean, but that from a dispatching point of view, you can't plan like that and choose to send out owner operators first because they may not have the hours.
okay, but like saying all things equal, is an owner operator going to get more opportunities than for the company driver?
They'll have more diverse opportunities because they're not going to be reliant on one provider.
Well, like if you hire on to Schneider or USA Trucking, don't you work for USA Trucking or Schneider?
Yeah, but not exclusively.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Some companies have a division that handles their owner operators, and so they will have driver managers that only take care of owner operators, their issues, their loads, assigning them freight, etc. And then company drivers will have their own driver managers. So it's not even necessarily the same, but the company who has committed to the contracts that they've accepted, like a certain volume of freight for XX amount per load, whatever, they have to meet their commitment. So it's like maybe it's a little bit more difficult to talk the owner operator into doing this bullshit run that doesn't make a lot of money, but you have to do it because you have to make good by your customer.
Okay. So I was just worried about like that sort of thing being the like the caveat that makes it not worth it, because otherwise it just seems really worth it. Like, why wouldn't these people buy their own trucks?
Because they have to buy their own tires too.
How much is a tire?
Let's say $400 or $500, and there's 18 of them.
What? Oh, on the 18-wheelers. Good lord. That is some expense. Now I just want to go to a truck stop to see like giant stacks of tires and just count to see if there's 18 in each stack for each car or each truck.
You don't do 18 at once, but you get a blowout on the road and it takes out 2 of your tires. That's $1,000.
Oof.
And maybe you're in the middle of a load and you're late to your appointment, so they're going to charge you $150 to $200 to reschedule. And then you've lost reputation with the customer, so you might lose freight that way. And I wouldn't think too much into it. It's pretty much bullshit.
Well, when it comes to owner-operators, I don't think they're responsible for the trailer because typically the trailer belongs to the company with the freight or the company that's organizing the logistics. The owner-operator is just responsible for the 10 tires on his truck.
It depends. It is true that they can come in with power only, but they can also come in with their full equipment, which means that they wouldn't be eligible for the jobs that are like drop trailer. Like right. I can send, if there's a drop trailer situation going on, then you can just send the truck. He'll drop his empty trailer, pick up a loaded trailer, and leave without having to wait to get loaded. Somebody who owns their own trailer and their truck, they're going to have to wait for 2 to 4 hours.
And then the other thing that's kind of a downside of that, you own your own equipment and you own your trailer. Well, for every diverse job that you get, if you have to also supply the trailer, well, that's just more crap you have to buy and maintain. So you might end up with a drop trailer, a flatbed, a box trailer, a dump trailer, a live trailer, a liquid trailer. You know, it's a lot.
Steve says Diz is so informative tonight. Diz is informative every night, Stephen. Mike Hawks is so much better than the regulars. Looking at you, Garrick.
Shut up. At least I'm here trying tonight.
Yeah. Look at you all conscious and shit.
Well, I'm working, so.
What?
I'm working away from home this week, so.
Oh. Speaking of on the road, we've had attacks in LA this week, Portland, and well, those were protests in the streets, but we've also had we had a shooting in New York, and another one that was where was the other one? They just named the shooting victims. Wherever that was a place.
Didn't we also milestone for shootings in Chicago this week, or am I misremembering?
We might have hit the yearly totals of like the rest of the country put together. I mean, it's almost June, so we're probably there.
Not a stat I watch, so I can't opine.
Yeah, but they had in LA they it was a minivan, and they took out the windows and the tires. In Portland, the car drove slow rolled, but still drove through the protesters, and then got chased down and stopped by a truck. If you happen to find yourself in a situation like that, your vehicle is a write-off. Not like in a fun way where you get reimbursed for it, but that is now a weapon at your disposal to use to defend your life, because these people are going to smash into it, break your windows, attempt to flatten your tires to get to you and beat you into a coma.
Well, we've come a long way on the public opinion of that since 2016.
I've had this opinion since 2009, 2010. Basically, in Detroit, a handyman was driving, and this kid drove out into the road and he hit him. And he stopped to make sure the kid was okay. He got out of his car, and a group of Detroiters beat the crap out of him and put him in a coma.
I'm just saying, the public opinion of what is acceptable to do with your car has changed a lot since Charlottesville.
Uh,
I think somebody deserves to be reheard. In light of all of the events going on in the world, can this one person have his case heard again? Because
hell, in Tennessee and coming soon to California, to Texas and Florida, is hit that fucker. I'm pretty sure that's not the name of the bill. At least it wasn't in Tennessee. It might be in Florida. But in the state of Tennessee, you are obligated not to switch lanes when a hazard comes onto your roadway, to your lane of the roadway.
What?
You have to hit the deer.
Well, the deer or the BLM member. No, if you can safely switch lanes, then you're fine. But the law is passed in a way that if there's a group of protesters blocking the road, you don't have to stop. And as long as you maintain your lane and don't go curving into other lanes to hit other assholes, you're legally allowed to plow through anybody in front of you.
Well, it still becomes an accident you're obligated to stop for, but...
Stop at some point.
Yes. But, yeah. There's a difference between a single car accident and a multi-car accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to call 911 and stop at home. We can have a chat about it then.
Well, I mean, it depends where it happens.
Yeah.
Like,
I tell you what, I'm not going home.
Yeah. Like, if it happens in Plano, you're pretty safe. But if it happens in Austin, you better get to a police station or something, because that's what they showed in Portland. They followed that guy in the car. They broke his window, or punching in at him broke his passenger windows. In LA, they flattened all four of the minivan's tires and shattered windows. So yeah, you are being attacked. You are allowed to use deadly force. A car is nothing more than deadly force, which is the same reason if a cop pulls you over and you get in your car, that car is a deadly weapon.
Well, and as we saw in Austin, the police aren't going to help you.
Oh, if anything, they arrest you.
Exactly.
Because it's easier to arrest the law-abiding citizen than the 25 fuckers with bats.
Right. So your only option is to keep going and don't go home. Go somewhere else. And make it a long somewhere else.
Yeah, because I think it was the case of L.A. They'll fucking follow you with a helicopter camera.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Antifa, but the
The news.
the media choppers. Yeah, the news choppers.
Yeah, that's a recreational sport in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a good place.
Yeah. To be clear, you can only hit the deer in your lane. You can't go swerving to hit deers. How's it going over there, Garrick? You good?
Traffic all
Yeah.
right?
Well, busy.
It's not too
busy.
heavy out there. You get a nice breeze with your window
I mean,
down.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Got your seatbelt on? You know, do we need to go live here?
No.
It's a Zoom call and
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go.
Are you in your lane?
Uh,
Don't change lanes.
so this, because it always happens in Michigan, the Michigan board had a meeting about
on what? About what?
I was gonna get to that.
Okay, I just want to know about what. I'm at the edge of my
Distracted
seat.
driving and the use of cell phones, and they're linked to distracted driving. And this freaking guy puts up like a fake. It's not a green screen, but it was like a faux background, like a TikTok faux background, where like anything past like 3 feet from the camera is a background, and it's of his office. And then he climbs into his car, buckles his seatbelt, so he's supposed to be sitting in his office, is how it's supposed to look. God, just so freaking stupid. Just go tell the rest of the story. My head hurts.
So he's got his seatbelt on, visible because 3 points, and it's coming across his shoulder and down his chest. During a meeting on Zoom about distracted cell phones and distracted driving, while he's driving
To another meeting.
insists that he was safe.
Mm-hmm.
That the rules that they're talking, the very rules that they're talking about in this meeting, do not apply to him.
Just absolutely ridiculous.
There are a lot of people out there filming videos while driving, and it is scary
It is scary.
to me.
Yeah. A lot of racism in this chat. Keep it up, guys. I like it. Sally Joy says, I've seen the clip. It's funny boomer tech. Like, no,
Like-
it's definitely tech for like 12-year-olds.
Wouldn't you be smart enough? Well, one would assume one would be smart enough to at least take the shoulder belt off.
Like, oh, and it's a meeting that you're not talking in. You don't have to have your camera on. You
I
could
always
have had
buckle
your
up at my
camera off
desk.
and been muted.
You guys don't buckle up at your desk?
Well, I walk around with a 5-point harness on at all times because I'm super safe.
Super safe. It's like those French people with the Dayglow vests all over the place.
The yellow vesters.
Yeah. What else?
Are they
what
still
else
doing that, or do they get tired?
No, they're still.
Oh no, they're
doing
still
it.
doing it.
There's a media
It's just the
blackout.
media
on
that
it.
got
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah, the media is blacking it out so that because they're they're not even right wing, but they're not statists, and they're against the Islamo-fascists. So we can't have that. That's bad press. That would be actual honest to God citizens being upset about their government, and we can't have that. the yellow vests are actually an insurrection, so we can't show that
Yeah.
mostly because they're moderately successful
Yeah.
and sympathetic.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't show that.
Hong Kong is also still protesting. I'm sure Turkey's protesting something or other. But Selly Toy says Rip
Just the
Michigan.
bottoms.
Only in Turkey, just the bottoms.
Well, if that
Yeah,
has
all the
taught us
tops are at
anything
war,
about
so
protests, protests don't work. They'll be protesting forever.
Yeah, they've got nothing better to do. But Michigan took a second hit last week when a state rep, also he got busted for drunk driving. The state rep, also a volunteer pastor and volunteer Inkster police officer, refused arrest, refused to provide ID when he was already stopped because he was having sex with a passed out woman in his government SUV. So he proceeded to fight with and use derogatory racial slurs towards police officers and threatened to call Gretchen on him. Threw in a "Do you know who I am?" and I control your budgets. Yeah, just for good measure. Yeah.
What budget? Yeah,
What's his name?
What budgets?
He has a really stupid name too. I can't think of it. It's like Sales Suites or something. Basketball American. But yeah, just absolutely rip for the state of Michigan. And speaking of, they're pulling up the numbers for the recall of Whitmer. They successfully got the recall of Gavin Newsom, and Cuomo is now stating that all the investigations into the nursing home deaths are right-wing propaganda started by Donald Trump. Never mind the fact that he was hiding the numbers before any investigations were determined or even asked for. The aides were hiding the numbers since day one.
Can you blame him for trying? Of course he was going to. Of course he was going to try.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him for the trying. I blame him for the doing.
Oh, yeah.
Killing seniors. Speaking of trying to get away with shit, what's up with the stingrays flying over Arizona, Sean?
The stingrays flying Arizona? What are you talking about?
The AC-130s riddled with stingrays, the eavesdropping software, not the fish that killed beloved Steve
Irwin.
Thank you. Yeah, that guy. That was a manta ray, by the way. But anyway, they're using them to spy on the the Maricopa Convention Center or whatever for the
recall.
For the recall,
the recount, I should say, not the recall, the audit. That's
the audit, the unconventional, ill-advised, and not at all necessary audit being paid for by people who are interested in how well it did.
Yeah, I had not heard about this, but setting up stingrays is nothing new. The local cops do it. My buddy, who was a cop, got trained on doing that to hijack cell communications. So that's not new.
They're not even good at it. Like this, NYC has the sniper system. NYC, DC, LA, a couple other larger cities have microphones attached to poles. And it's supposed to aid the police in finding snipers. I'm sure there's one in Dallas for unknown reasons.
The gunshot response systems, you mean, where they record gunshots?
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's how
what
they got that
happened?
13-year-old. That 13-year-old got caught by one of those. Where was that? Chicago or where? I don't remember where the 13-year-old got. No, that was New York.
Chicago went good.
Or where
Well,
was it?
yeah. So New York City has one.
Right.
There was a shooting over the weekend, and of course, no one of intention was shot, but a bunch of people were hit in the legs, and they're claiming between 4 and 5 shots. And I'm like, is it 4 or 5? You literally have a system that records gunshots. Can't you like Google it?
Well, it also records the echo, so keep that in mind.
Well, the reason that they can't tell is because it was a shotgun used. So it hits a plethora of people. Because bottom line, I've patterned shotguns. I have my current shotguns are all patterned, and any place within my apartment, it's smaller than a fist. But when you fire at a block, could hit a couple people. Yeah, it will spread to the size of a barn if you aim high enough, like a fucking moron. But apparently, the guy was insulted by and trying to kill his brother. So that's gang violence in New York City for you. Thank you. Just pieces of shit and assholes, man.
Cities are cesspools. I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm. The only argument for disarming people is in those shitty cities, and that's the reason you need a gun the most.
I mean, they decided to do that in Tombstone. They were like,
Well, Dodge
not
City.
in the city.
Dodge City.
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp initialized it. Well, not Wyatt, but Virgil Earp, his older brother, was the marshal in Dodge City, and that's where the idea came from. And it was when they went to Tombstone they enacted it.
You know, you still can't carry in Tombstone.
But they still live that way. They still live that way.
What do you mean?
Like it's all Wild Westy out there.
It's a tourist trap, is what it is. It's 3 streets wide, and yeah, you're right. That area, that the old Tombstone area, it's nothing but a tourist trap. It exists solely for the legend of Wyatt Earp. The rest of the city is
Stupid.
poor. Well, no, it's poor and it's not very big. There's no industry down there to speak of other than the tourist industry.
I believe there was a silver mine about 130 years ago.
Yeah, that's no longer producing anything.
Huh. Shocker.
There's a couple of copper mines in the general area, and Tombstone's convenient enough because it has a couple of Circle K's and a Fry's and a Bash's. So
it's almost like boomtowns weren't meant to be permanent.
Almost, but that Birdcage Theater, it's still there.
Is it?
It's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really should go, but
Well, I want to go, but I guess that just reinforces the whole tourist trap thing.
It's a tourist trap.
No.
They put on shows, and the only people with guns are the reenactors, and they're all full of blanks.
Not mine. Woo! No, I won't go to places where they disarm me. How can? Yeah, no. We're about a month out from constitutional carry here in the great state of Tennessee, where you're obligated to hit assholes on the highway.
We have constitutional carry in Arizona. You're still not allowed to carry in Tombstone.
Is it like promise? Do you sign a piece of paper? What?
If you get caught, you go to jail. It makes some sense.
Do they have guns?
It makes sense in a weird, twisted way because they don't want fucking yahoos recreating the shootout at the OK Corral. Because some fucking assholes are going to go down to the saloon, get 6 or 8 beers in them, and are going to want to do it.
See, that's stupid because it's already illegal to be armed and drinking.
Correct.
So you're just adding to, like at no point when I visit the stairs of The Exorcist do I go, "Hey, baby, feel like making a demon baby?"
You say it's stupid, but I think that you forget how stupid people are.
Right.
Are you going to agree to have my demon baby? Because I'm pretty sure that inquires, or it makes it, you are a smart person who is not willing to have Rosemary's Baby because of a movie.
No, I'm just saying that I'm willing to not bring a gun to Tombstone.
Like, I've gone to cornfields, and at no point has my dad wanted to play catch with me. And everyone seed Field of Dreams.
Well,
My dad
sad.
cried like a bitch in that movie. I've never seen my dad cry in his entire life. That movie, like,
Fucking wrecked him.
Wrecked him. Have a catch. And like, my dad went out and bought a baseball glove, and like, we played catch like 3 times, and I'm like, Dad, I'm outfielder. I fucking hate this game. We ended up going fishing a bunch. That fucking movie changed his goddamn life.
In a good way?
Well, I mean, he was like attempting to be a more loving father, and my dad's kind of a brute, so it's not like the best thing. Like 4 baseballs to the chest, and I'm like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
Do you catch better now?
Well, I spent my last 5 years in baseball as a catcher, so yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the key to being a good catcher is them throwing the ball in the right place. Like, my dad hadn't thrown a baseball in 30 damn years. He's pelting me all over the place.
All you gotta do to avoid getting hit with the ball is catch it.
Yeah, but you have to get in front of the ball, and sometimes you miss, and you get hit with the goddamn ball.
Rub some dirt on it, you'll be fine.
You know they give you armor when you're the catcher, right? Like, no shit. Once I think it was my junior year in high school, the girls softball, they didn't have a catcher going in, and the pitcher was warming up, and they're like, "Hey, I know you got wrestling, but can you take about 20 minutes out to play catch?" I'm like, "Okay." This chick's first pitch shatters a water fountain. I'm like, you know what? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see if the coach has my pads. She was putting dents in freaking brick walls. Nowhere close to me, by the way, but just she was throwing underhand at like 75 miles an hour, and our baseball guys were right around 80, 85.
With a smaller ball.
Yeah, she was still putting the hurting on the entire gym wall.
Softball's not a joke. People have made fun of softball for as long as I can remember, and I don't get it.
Softball is a joke if you're like 35 and a dude. but like girls softball, well, slow pitch softball is the joke. Just regular softball, they'll take your head off. But slow pitch softball is the joke, and it's the having a good time. I used to play an athlete 20 years ago. I'm gonna hit this ball as hard as I can.
I'm just saying, as far as girls' sports go, Like, that's probably the best one.
I liked volleyball.
Volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, that's from an. That's because you're guys. That's because of the butts and the boobs and the thighs.
It's not like we said beach volleyball.
Tennis isn't too bad either in the short skirts.
Yeah, but you got a bunch of blacks grunting all over the field. I'm gonna pass on that one.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about the game. I'm talking about the game, not the players. The game.
You know, my favorite is
yeah, because you watch football for the game, right?
I don't watch football. Period.
I'm talking to Diz.
No, she just probably doesn't watch football.
Only watch football when I have to watch football.
Gymnastics is also pretty good.
Gymnastics, yeah. Don't fuck with a gymnast. They're fucking no joke strong.
And you know this firsthand, I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could make fun of them because it's like, especially guy gymnasts, they're fun to make fun of because they're usually small dudes. But pound for pound, they are some of the strongest dudes you will ever meet. The Iron Cross, try it one time. Try it. See if you can even do one, let alone for any specific amount of time or after doing anything else on the rings.
Yeah, no joke. Some of the cheerleaders, when the captains of the football team would be forced to do a cheerleading routine with the cheerleaders for homecoming. And those girls, when they would like grab your shoulders and stuff, they would literally put a hurting on you, like between their grips and just like the power that these girls had. It's ridiculous. And they're all former gymnasts. They're brutes. And the worst part is they're small hands, so they hurt like more because it's a smaller area, and you're a big fucking loud of a dude, so you can't complain about it, but you wanna. There's this one girl I still remember, Melissa Meacham. She was she qualified for Pan Am Games, but she was also a puncher, and I fucking hate that little 4'9". Oh my god, just a terror. Great girl, wonderful personality, but she was punchy, and I wanted to hit her back. You're bony and small and ridiculously strong. Stop it. But we threw her all over the place. That chick, God, she'd hit the ground, bounce, and be ready to do it again and call you a pussy if you were tired. Now, she was like 4'11", though. She's a fucking tiny little thing. Who is Mitch Gaylord? Is that one of your crushes? I can't think of her name. Shauna something. She married a football player, and it's Shauna East now. I can't think of her name. But Shauna Williams? Anyway, she was a gymnast like 6-8 years ago. And she's all over YouTube, like pregnant and doing gymnastic stuff. And I'm like, stop it.
But don't stop.
No, she's fucking pregnant as shit. She could stop. I'm like, quit making your baby dizzy in there. You're getting me sick. But like, there's a thing where you do a handstand and then you slowly spread your legs apart, and it's a face of a clock from midnight is 1, so it's not actually face of a clock. 1 down to 8, and 8 is like at the 5 o'clock. And she would do the splits and keep doing the splits, and every number she hit, her husband gave her $100, and he would just constantly be doing stuff like that on videos. And I'm like, are you giving her the money, or is this like for the video, or what? But she was with she was one of 2008, I think, is because it was who's that chick that was with Obama, and she does the face, Kayla. No, not Kayla McInerney. Michaela something or other. She had the
I'll look it up.
face. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Hang on.
She had that like disappointed face or that resting
Like
bitch
the-
face.
Michaela
parent?
Maroney.
Michaela Maroney. Yeah. Shauna. It
No,
should be
it's-
like associated with her. Shauna.
I don't know if she's associated with her, but this is.
They're the same team. Her, Gabby.
Well, I don't have
Gabby
the
Douglas.
team up. Hang on, let me add team and see if that pulls up.
Not Michaela Peterson.
Let's see. Sunny Lee, Morgan Hurd, Riley McCuster, Grace McCallum, Leanne Wong. Oh, but this is last year's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know who any of those people are.
And
And I fucking followed the 2008 Olympics.
Was it
No,
2008? 2012, wasn't
No,
it?
2012. 2012. Yeah, I did follow 2008. There's this funny George Bush in China. What's her name? Kelly Walsh. It was like, Mr. President, can you give me a good luck pat? And she puts her ass out. And Bush is like, yeah. And then he realizes he can't slap her ass. So he does this really limp-wristed weak, like dragging his knuckles across her spine. And she goes, thanks.
Let's see. According to this, it's Allie Raisman, Gabby Douglas, Michaela Maroney, Kyla Ross, and Jordan Weber.
That's not even 7 people.
No, that's 5 of them. Because they were nicknamed the Fierce Five.
Gabby Douglas was only popular because she was black. However, there is a black girl in 2018 who is like quintuple jointed everywhere, and she's like considered the best in the world. I'm like, how much of that is because she's black? Because blacks have never been particularly good in gymnastics. Or swimming. Yeah, I said it. Swimming.
Don't you disparage swimming.
I'm not disparaging swimming. I'm just disparaging blacks in swimming. Because that was fucking hilarious when Crowder's dad said it earlier today. He's like, they're definitely not putting the fists up in swimming. I'll fucking look it up. God damn it.
I'm still looking. I just can't seem to find the whole team.
I'll get it. I'm just going to put in gymnast Shauna and it'll fucking fill in because...
Google does your thinking
Gymnast.
for you.
Shauna Johnson. Thank you. Is this her? Nope, that's not her. Shauna.
It's probably not even her name.
Oh, it is her. Yeah, it is her. Shawn Johnson.
Shawn
She changed it from
Johnson.
Shauna
There it
to
is.
Shawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was active 2004 to 2012. Married Andrew East. Andrew East is American football long snapper who's currently a free agent, went to Vanderbilt. So apparently that house that they're living in is all her money. Way to go, Andrew. Leave it to the Mexicans to be good swimming. No, Mexicans aren't particularly good, but Phillips, what's his fucking name?
Michael Phelps.
Ryan? Michael
Phelps.
Phelps. Michael Phelps is a freak of nature.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
That is like if it was a gymnast freak of nature, it would be all legs and arms and a tiny body. But because it's swimming, it's stout legs, a long torso, and giant fucking shovel hands.
And a wingspan greater than Michael Jordan's.
Mm-hmm.
Dude's a freak.
Yeah, he's got like a 26-inch inseam, and he's 6'6".
Yeah, he's a freak.
like it would be a 7-foot tall person with a 88-inch inseam if it was running. It would be like Usain Bolt. Who, incidentally, when he was in China, he only ate chicken nuggets for every meal. Just
Safe
like
bet.
100 chicken nuggets a meal.
Safe bet.
It was. He's like, he's Jamaican, so he's already not particularly culturally diverse. And he just ate a fuck ton of chicken nuggets at McDonald's. And super flexible ankles. Yeah, ankle muscles. I can't think of a particular sport that Mexico dominates in. I mean, they're all right. Huh?
Soccer?
I mean, they're all right in soccer. There's a tribe that does insanely well in...
They're remarkably good at baseball as well.
Well,
I
that's
thought
all
they were
the...
Cubans.
No,
it's Dominicans.
Dominicans.
That's what it was.
Which, did you know that the Dominican Republic all voted to join the United States, but at the time they did that, the U.S. Senate was like, nah.
Well, we have to take Haiti with it, too, because Haiti still doesn't have their embassy up and running. Thanks to all the $1 billion worth of donations that went to the Clinton Foundation, where they've built 6 homes that nobody lives in. But also the Japanese are getting pretty into baseball as well.
They have been for a long time.
Wait, I need to go back. What do you mean the Dominican Republic voted? Do you mean Puerto Rico?
No, I mean the Dominican Republic. And we're talking like
they voted,
the late
and we
1800s. It was like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant recently, and it was like...
No.
No, if it was today.
Yeah, it was back when there was far less states. So it was like the late 1800s.
And
Okay.
the United States was like, I'm not sure if you know this or not, but we named ourselves United. We're not going and doing anything like continental United States. And then Dominican got all pissed at us when we took Hawaii. They're like, what about Alaska? And they're like, calm down, Dominican. Learn English.
Same for Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm actually for Puerto Rico being a state.
Of course you are.
For what reason?
You got a port down there? Is that what you're for? Pushing it for the job?
Well, no. Well, there's that. I mean, if cruising in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico being a state would help. But we pay for them anyway. They're basically everything but a voting member.
You can't make Puerto Rico a tourist destination. It's an island. It'll tip over.
Yeah, too many people on it.
That's why we're not putting a base on Guam. Do we have a base on Guam, or did Hank Johnson literally stop that from happening?
No, we have several.
Oh, okay, good.
Guam is just basically a military base. Several military bases. There's not really much to it that isn't.
For those of you who don't follow the news, the entire island tipping over thing is not my ignorance. It is that of House of Representatives member Hank Johnson, who didn't want the base in Guam because too many people on the island would cause it to tip over.
He actually said tip over and capsize. In Congress, when questioning somebody about the facilities on Guam. It has been recorded by C-SPAN for posterity. I highly suggest you go watch it.
Yeah.
It's
and
amazing.
And Sheila Jackson Lee was they were talking about the man trip to Mars, and either she conflated it with the moon, or at some point she went off about getting somebody to the moon before we investigate any of the other planets, and her aide told the interviewer, if you post any of this, it's racism, and we will have you fired. She's like, we need to go to the moon first. Like, ma'am, I'm not sure if you've heard of 1969.
Yeah,
But,
you were around when we actually did that.
It was like the capstone of your like generation. It was a whole thing. Pretty popular.
By the way, the next 2 doors down, there's a guy named Buzz. You should probably go talk to him.
Buzz Lightyear. What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she would make that.
probably.
She would make that conflation.
Oh yeah.
What does a Pixar character have to do with anything?
Like, no, she probably thinks he's Disney. Well, he is now, but that's beside the point. God damn, just stupid people in our elected office. I don't have anything for them. Oh, what did what's her name did something stupid? Ileana Omar, I can't think of it. But
She exists, therefore stupid happens.
yeah. Something shady's going on because
What?
yeah, no, something shady's going on, and here's how I know. It's because trending right now is Leonardo DiCaprio. Fans are pointing out that actor Leonardo DiCaprio looks like Leonardo DiCaprio after the New York Post says he looks unrecognizable in first photo of new Scorsese film. It's a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't get it.
They conflated him with the other actress that was in that scene. They thought that was Leo.
No, it like maybe 10 years past eating Gilbert Grape, but it looks exactly like Leonardo DiCaprio.
It does. He's just a little inflated because he's middle-aged, and we inflate as we get older. He's not the thin, good-looking movie star he used to be. He's just a middle-aged dude doing middle-aged roles in movies. He's got a paunch. His face is full and round. And how dare somebody in Hollywood be human?
Yeah, but that's trending, so I know some shit's going up.
They have given Brendan Fraser so much shit for aging.
I love me some Brendan Fraser.
Who doesn't?
Hollywood.
And Antifa.
Hello. Antifa. Yeah.
Democrats.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of people who don't Brendan Fraser. Pauly Shore, possibly. No, he loves him probably. Brendan Fraser had probably one of the most financially successful movies at the time with George of the Jungle, and then one of the least successful movies of all time with Dudley Do-Right. And they blame Brendan Fraser for that instead of anybody else. And I don't think it's fair to him. He's a national treasure. Stop it. If him and Dean Cain got into a fist fight, I would join sides with Elon because I don't want to live on this planet anymore. And Dean Cain would whoop him.
Well, now, because Brandon
has a
Fraser
lot
is
of
fat.
back problems. No, he's not.
Well, he's, again, middle-aged inflated. He's not fat. He's just not.
Well, he's dad bod. He's not
Yeah.
rocking the Encino Man 18-pack or anything like that. But
Well, and that's what Hollywood wants. He was eye candy for the ladies when he was fit and attractive.
so there's I'm watching Mortal Kombat Conquest right now, and Christiana Loken is in it, and she's terrible, but she is a decent actress now, and she learned her way. like they got past her really good looks and are now focusing on her acting, but in that show, terrible.
The chick who played Sonya.
No. She's a completely different character. This is a TV show, and the only character that's in it from Mortal Kombat is Kung Lao. It's weird. Well, Raiden's in it. A couple of the bad guys are in it, but no Johnny Cage, no Sonya, no Liu Kang. None of like what's been deemed like the good guy Earthrealm characters are in it at all. It's like it's from '99. It's really weird. Like I should send you some of the screenshots I've taken of like it's like Middle Earth, but like Middle Ages, and these girls are in like skimpy clothes and well, I mean like Mortal Kombat outfits. Like the dudes are in vests or schmucks or whatever the fuck that thing is that like Sub-Zero and Scorpion wear. It's like a over-gi jacket that's sleeveless or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls are all in like legged bikinis. I don't know how else to explain it.
Speaking of
What?
Sorry to go back, but speaking of Brendan Fraser, I was at Cabela's a couple weeks ago, and I saw one of the pistols that he used in The Mummy, or one of the models like it.
Which one?
The Moss 1873s.
Maybe.
God, I was tempted to buy it. I wish I had money.
The chunky French revolver.
Mm-hmm.
I like
funny,
Schofield's. The Schofield break actions, but no.
11 millimeter. Good luck finding that.
No, you load for it. Actually, got a guy that sent me like information on how to load for it.
I saw a Clint Eastwood movie where this wouldn't be allowed today, but it showed him loading revolver cartridges into the pistol and then taking off the cylinder and doing it all over again with a second drum so that he could quick change his drums to have 12 shots. I can dig it, okay?
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of interesting, but it really slowed down the movie. Frank Grillo is still hot for being. Is that
where are you gonna find
Crossbones?
spent 44 mag? Where are you gonna find spent 44 mag that those owners aren't already gonna reload?
Oh,
it's 44 mag, pretty much.
You can take 45 long Colt and do that too.
Stephen Frank Grillo, that's the guy from Winter Soldier and the start of Civil War. I might think of somebody else. Okay. Get back to me when you can, Stephen. Well, there's a delay and whatnot. What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know. It's kind of a slow week. Crypto took a dive.
Crypto or Doge?
All of it, all of the above. And I shouldn't say a huge dive, but like Doge took a horrible dive, which sucks because I was expecting it to go up post SNL from Elon, and it's costing me money at this point because I bought in.
You should listen to Tim Pool. He called it. He said it was going to go down.
Yeah, and there's expecting to be a huge sale at $1.
Which I'm sure it will. There's probably going to be a sale at 75 too, but now it's down to 46.
What was the height?
$1.10
for Doge.
I think so. Yeah.
When was that?
Wasn't that
Friday? Because it wasn't Saturday.
Yeah. Like early Saturday.
Well, let's check here.
Let's check the histrionics here.
Height of Doge.
No, it
I
only
still
got to
really
like
don't understand
75.
the point.
I
I don't understand.
Guys I'm working with said he sold at $1.06. He sold everything. He made $600, so he's happy.
Doge never got that high.
No.
So some other coin Doge has never been that high.
What is the point of a currency that you have to purchase with currency?
Inflation. What it
Well,
inflates at versus what
okay.
your currency you're buying it with inflates
Well,
at.
hang on. So, what's the purpose of having different currencies then?
Divestment.
Well, that's basically what I'm asking her because we have, I don't know, how many different versions of um, currency
6.
do we have? There's got to be
One.
almost as many currencies
America.
as there's got to be almost as many currencies as there are countries, right?
Right, but
No.
the
All of them.
the value of your dollar in its exchange rate in, say, Russian currency makes sense. You just do the exchange, because if you're in Russia, you have to pay with Russian money, right?
Well, I
But
mean, they to answer your question. I mean, I had a coworker that worked in Canada for about 2 years, and he was paid in Canadian dollars. Well, by the time he was ready to move it to his bank here in America, the exchange rate on it had gone down so much that he said, "No, I'm not going to exchange it. I'm just going to leave it up there until it re-normalizes or thereabouts, gets at least close." He'd have lost, like, I want to say, almost a quarter of what he made.
On May 4th, Dogecoin was 50 cents a share. Despite or perhaps because of expectations on a surge in interest in Dogecoin resulting in Elon Musk's appearance on Saturday Night Live, Dogecoin dropped 34% to 0.77 or 0.711 at the opening of the show, and by the morning, Dogecoin had lost value of $35 billion. Good night.
Yeah, I wish I had bought when it was at like 30 cents. I didn't. I bought when it was at 60 cents.
Oof.
Buy it now at 4.
Right now, I'm just going to go diamond hands and let it sit and hope it comes back up, because there's really nothing else to do. I'm not buying more of it. If I'm gonna sink money, I'm
well, it's
sinking
40
in,
cents now.
Which one are you mining right now?
I'm mining Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can only mine Bitcoin. I don't think Ethereum has mines.
No, you do.
Yes.
You can run. You can if you're. So I use a service that I'm actually mining Ethereum. My cards are actually mining Ethereum, but I get paid in Bitcoin rather than Ethereum.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, use it to buy Ethereum then, or transfer it over to Ethereum. But you're not actually getting
And
Ethereum. It doesn't matter.
Ethereum is technically down right now, but it's at 39 and some change. So it's actually up over the last couple of months by a lot. Like Ethereum went on a tear. I
39 cents?
No, 39,000 or $3,900.
Okay, I was gonna say
Hang
because
on,
Dogecoin's at 40 cents a share.
Right, no. Ethereum right now, and I just got an update and it just went down. Is right now at $3,893.68 a coin. Back in January or February, I took basically 1/100ths of a Bitcoin and split it into Ethereum. And I have basically like 0.4 and some change, so 4/10 of an Ethereum coin, and I've made more money in just splitting that little bit of Bitcoin into Ethereum than I have in Bitcoin. So it's all speculation.
I appreciate y'all's speculation, but I still buy silver and gold.
I do
in
that
hand.
too. I do that too.
I mean, what's not going to student loans? And what's currently, sadly, not going to ammo because I do need buckshot. If anybody is interested, double out buck, send it my way.
I'm investing in bees.
If you wake up early enough and wash your goddamn hands.
What do you mean if I wake up early enough?
I saw your video. If you sleeping through because you were so excited to get bees, you slept through going to get bees.
Yeah, but I got them that night, so I have them.
Oh, I didn't realize it was like open day for bee shopping.
No, when you go pick up bees, right? They sleep at night, so you have to get them before they leave the hive to go foraging, or you have to get them after they come back from foraging.
Mm.
You can't just go pick up bees at noon because they're not there.
Ah.
How many hives do you have?
I have one.
And when do you expect it to start producing?
Not in the first year,
Okay.
really. Now, I went with a kind of off-brand of the Flow Hive, so I have the brood box on the bottom and the super on top. And I bought 4 frames with a mated queen that was laying eggs already.
Okay.
So, the bottom is 10 frames, and they'll need to fill the other 6 before they'll go into the upper apartment. Somewhat. They'll
This
need
is
to.
completely outside of my bailiwick.
And you're only going to harvest the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, are there boy bees?
Yeah. Some of
Okay.
them are boys.
And then there's the girl bees.
Yes.
Everything I know
there's
about
girl
bees is from literally the Grease 2 song Reproduction. So,
Well,
it's all my bee knowledge. That and the movie, Bee Movie.
the queen is who creates all the new bees.
Newbies.
And it's not just one queen and a bunch of boy bees. There's male and female bees all up in there.
I know. I've seen the Bee Movie.
I have not.
It's shit. Just in case you're wondering.
Proof that Jerry
No,
Seinfeld can suck.
Oh, Seinfeld often sucks. The reproduction song. I'm glad somebody got that reference. Reproduction. Did we talk last week about West Side Story as they're coming out with a new one for 2021?
Yeah, we
based on the
mentioned it.
2009 revival.
Been trying to avoid it, but yes, we mentioned it.
Did I mention Dancing Bacon?
No.
They have a new video this week. It's a vending machine video. You should check it out.
I'd like to get some vending machines. I just don't know where I would put them.
It's a vending machine that serves hot chicken wings.
What? No thanks.
Yeah.
I saw that. It fries it inside the machine.
Well, I mean, microwaves it probably, but yeah.
No.
Air fry.
No. The one that I saw fries it inside the machine.
Oh, this was a different one then. Yeah, there's ones like there's a pizza making machine, and like you see the whole process. Like the top in a window is all the ingredients get put on it, and then it rotates down and it cooks underneath that, and then it comes back up so it can cool down a little bit, and you see it go past you again, and then it drops down and gets put in an open face box that you have to close yourself. some interesting stuff. I enjoy the hell out of that channel, and I hope they never watch my streams because I'm really racist or Japanese. Two bombs. Sorry. I did. We did J. Fry's poorly reviewed books once, and one of the authors came to the channel and commented on what I said about the book.
Did he?
Yeah.
Huh.
Not the first one. The second J. Fry's poorly reviewed books. Not the ones you sucked all over.
I was gonna say, man, wow. Somebody sat through that.
That would have been. Oh my god! I wonder if he did. Like if he Google searches his name and he's like, "What is this clusterfuck?"
Glad that's on.
I have to go back and check.
Not mine.
Yeah, it is on my channel. It's on my channel. I have to go back and check to see which one it was. I don't remember which author it was, but I definitely talked about him. Oh shit! I did. I have it downloaded, but I didn't get to the Matt reviewing Tremors. Did anybody watch that?
I did. I watched it today. I actually didn't get to see the stream last night, so I watched it today at work.
Same, but what did he say?
He doesn't like it.
What about it?
I read the review on his website. I didn't get to listen to the show either, unfortunately. Well, I listened for like the first 10, 15 minutes.
See, the thing, and this is why I don't want him to watch Big Trouble in Little China. He doesn't have enough background knowledge to know why these things are classics. He doesn't have the right mindset.
Well, okay, I can kind of get that. Like, well, like especially with Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or Cabin in the Woods, or Scream, because those movies really play off tropes.
Right.
I don't know about. I mean, I guess maybe it has some leading up to like music cues and things like that he wouldn't be familiar with, but.
Okay, well, this is how clueless he was. He thought that Tremors was the movie that made Kevin Bacon famous.
Oh, yeah. It's all that dancing he does away from the Tremors. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Or
the big dancing with the graboids.
He also thought that Friday the 13th came out after Tremors.
Well, okay, here's Matt's biggest problem. He can't get out of this headspace of it has to make sense in reality. He'll never be able to watch a sci-fi or a fantasy movie if that's the case. Because if it doesn't make sense in the real world,
I have that issue too.
Watch it.
Who's Matt?
I have that issue too. Matt Christensen, a friend of ours. He's a pretty popular YouTuber.
He's gonna watch They Live this week, and
oh god!
So we're gonna find out.
Like, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but there's a fight that just takes for fucking ever. They're beating the shit out of each other. It went like so long. Just so long, this fight. And the Martians aren't Jews. He doesn't get it all. He won't get it all.
No.
And then
I don't like Tremors either, though.
It's okay. So he's not wrong in that it's not a great movie. It's not supposed to be a great movie. It's not supposed to be real. It's a throwback movie to the 1950s B monster movie flicks. He's all worried about.
You didn't enjoy The Blob.
He's all concerned about. Well, they didn't explain the graboids. That's the point. You're not supposed to. It's irrelevant about what they are.
It's a really creepy movie. Just leave it alone.
They're just a monster. The whole point of the movie is the interactions between the people in the movie. And while he gave Reba some credit for some of the scenes, he didn't give Michael Gross any credit for the immense purpose of that movie is a vehicle for Burt goddamn Gummer.
Like, I talked to Dr. Fauci, and apparently when you stab somebody in the chest with a post from a fence, it will not, in fact, restart their heart. this Friday the 13th Part 6 is nonsense.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was right to complain about some of the characters in the movie because that's the point. But it's not. It's just a B flick. It's supposed to be a B flick, and he doesn't understand what a B flick is.
Okay, I can agree with that to a certain extent, but at another point, we have also been dumbed down with bullshit. Like, there's in any series you get to, you will have like Mr. Crab is like a penny pincher in fucking Bikini Bottom or whatever. But because it needs to be done in this vehicle that is SpongeBob SquarePants, in one episode he will just be spending money like crazy because SpongeBob needs a raise or something. And often we let that slide that a hardcore aspect of a character that is like completely fleshed out and in every episode gets turned around because it needs to be done that way. Or you're watching CSI whatever the fuck, and the guy's a player for 2.5 seasons, and then he gets a hardcore girlfriend for one episode. She dies at the end, and he goes back to being a player in the next episode. Like, we forgive that way too much because of shoddy and sloppy writing. And Matt doesn't have that issue. So he can point out the absurdity of Burt Gummer handing out guns to everybody for funsies. No gun nut is like, take my gun and run with it. Hope you don't get eaten and I lose this gun for funsies. Here's a 7-shot 357. Enjoy it, Melvin.
Yeah, but gun disposability is a trope of movies anyway.
Yeah, give or take. Like I can see that. Like in The Matrix, yeah, those guns are completely disposable. I mean, it's literally faster for him to drop 2 Berettas and pull up 2 Tech 9s than it is to reload 2 Berettas.
Given how critical he's been of this movie, can y'all make me a promise?
I haven't seen it yet.
No, but given how critical he's been, because me and Sean at least read. Well, I read it. Sean, I guess, listened. Can y'all not suggest Super Mario Brothers to him? Because it's my guilty pleasure. I'd hate for him to shit all over it.
Oh man, I love all the fucking movies.
Given
I would gleefully look him in the eye and explain to him there is 6 more of these movies.
Given what transpired with his quote-unquote review of Tremors, number one, I'm glad he was exposed to it. Okay, so he needs to be exposed to these movies. But I guarantee you, this whole project of him reviewing movies and on a weekly basis, if it goes past July, I'll be shocked.
He wants to quit. Like, stop! I hate movies.
Because
it doesn't make sense.
Well, and we'll see this week when he does They Live, because that's going to be a hard one for him. I mean, it's an allegory, and we'll be lucky if he sees it as that.
He'll catch the allegory, but John Carpenter himself has gone both ways with it.
Is that the movie with the guy with the sunglasses that they turn into a thing that's always taking out the sunglasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's literally the longest fight in recorded film history of him trying to force sunglasses on a black man.
Oh shit, what was that?
And it's famous for the fight scene. Not like more, it's infamous for the fight scene, but it's got a good viewing, quality cast, things like that. Like, it was the first outlet for Rowdy Roddy Piper. God damn it! It's either Keith David or David Keith is the black. God damn it! I wish I could separate those two.
It's David Keith. It's David Keith.
I think we say it's David Keith because Keith David sounds like a whiter name. I hope that's what it works out.
Hang on, I'll go look it up.
Okay, well, I would like to say one thing. I am so glad that he ran with my idea to let people vote on what movie he should watch next.
Keith David.
Yeah. Oh, Keith David's a black guy?
Yep.
Oh, that ruins that for me. God damn it. All right, so Keith David is the black guy. David Keith is the Lantern Jaw white feller. Never gonna remember that. That's why it fucks with me so bad. That's why I'm glad Patrick Jason was only in one movie and Jason Patrick is in all the movies. There is no Patrick Jason. Although I did have this conversation with Robert Patrick once in a coffee shop in Detroit. He also doesn't like people with two first names.
Are you just ripping beefers there, Garrick, or what?
No, I was shifting in my seat.
Did you have an omelet?
Ducks. That's what it is. Ducks.
Another sparking spider. So, John Carpenter.
Oh man!
Has
Of course they want him to do that.
so
they're voting on.
Did you roll down a window?
No, they're voting on what movie for him to watch. Like I said, I suggested it. I'm surprised that he actually did it. But people are voting for Alien, and
Because
they voted for mine
Yeah.
for the one I want.
He took Aliens off the list, and
Good.
ultimately we
Good.
want to get him to watch Aliens, but he's got to see Alien first. So that's why everybody's voting for Alien.
Why hasn't
Okay.
he seen this? Why hasn't he already seen it?
He doesn't watch movies. He
Yeah.
used to. He had a research job where he would spend fucking hours, just entire days, doing his job instead of partaking in those kind of viewing activities. After that, he switched jobs and he started YouTubing as a gamer. So the entire time his ass is in front of a TV, he's playing video games, not indulging in movies. So when he comes around to start political commentary as a full-time job for YouTube, which he now does, he investigates stories for a couple of single videos he does per week, and the rest of the time he's engaged in looking for stories for his weekend show, or doing a Wednesday stream where he engages with his audience, or he's out hiking and having fun with his wife now. So he's not
Pregnant wife.
pregnant wife now. By the way, hold on, let me check and see if she responded.
See if she responded to you. I haven't seen anything public yet.
Yeah. I just got a haha. She just ha-ha'd me. Oh, that doesn't help me. She said uncle for sure. Yeah.
So it's a boy.
No.
I was not clear enough.
Well, anyway.
So it's a boy. Fucking retard. I should have just asked her if she's having a boy or girl instead of being stupid with the am I an aunt or an uncle.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him, but I'm gonna do it very.
I just said I'll get back. She'll get back to me before anybody gets back to you. I should just text her, but my phone's chucked over on the other side of the room because of the mic, and my other phone is chucked across the house because Diz doesn't wash her hands before touching her face.
It's just dirt.
Your pretty face was clean. Don't touch it with your dirty hands.
It wasn't. First of all, I was working in the garden and hauling.
You were making a fucking
40 pound bag. Yes, I was taking a break from hauling 40-pound bags of dirt across my yard. Okay.
You take your break with a hand washer. We're in a pandemic, Diz.
It's dirt. It's fine. First of all, I dig in the dirt every day. I'm not going to stop and wash my hands just because I have dirt stains on them. Give me a break.
Dirt stains. It was fucking chunks. There was a root in your pinky nail.
No, there wasn't.
You think he'll respond to that? Oh, there it is.
But yeah, so Fight me? Where were we going with this?
I don't know. Basically, like I said, I don't think it's going to last too terribly long. I think he's going to get through about 10, maybe 12 movies, and then he's going to call it quits. Because once you get past the first, I don't know, 6 or 8, the quality is going to drop off a cliff.
No, not necessarily, because, like I said, I recommend like classic movies, like.
Well, it's one a week,
or The
and
Godfather.
he is doing it for the show.
Yeah, but it's something that he didn't conceive of for the show. So how long is it going to last?
Well, a lot of people are backing it and want it, so as long as he can tolerate it, I
Yeah,
suppose.
because Matt's into doing what people want.
For his show.
Well, you know what? He seems mildly enthusiastic about it, so
He's
let's
giving it.
see how it
He's literally giving it the college try.
Yeah.
If you
He almost
if you want
murdered a
him to
viewer
keep
once.
doing it, don't keep suggesting shitty movies.
like I said, I don't suggest shitty movies, in my opinion, at least.
You gotta consider your audience for the audience. You know, if it's a
Oh my
person
God.
who didn't grow up on movies, and you want to get them interested in movies, then
No, okay.
telling them to watch movies that are
Trashy
favorites
or
of
B-list.
film fans isn't the way to go.
You can't start.
Well,
You can't start a new movie watcher with cult classics. It doesn't work.
yeah.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
Well, and some of the movies are meant to be enjoyed in the context that they were created for.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
There are
So-
movies out there that are best watched while yelling at the TV with 5 of your closest friends.
Okay. Well, here's a great example. Do you think he could watch Blazing Saddles and genuinely enjoy it entirely? Like, he could probably enjoy some bits of it. But
Blazing
in it,
Saddles? No, you could do the whole movie.
no, but do you
He
think he'd
could-
enjoy it in its entirety?
He could watch Blazing Saddles and enjoy it for what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
He could
It's not like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Well, no, he could not watch History of the World Part 1 and enjoy it.
Yeah. Or History of the World Part 1 or Men in Tights. That is literally cutting from scene to scene because Mel Brooks thought mocking this scene is particularly funny.
Well, no, but the trope of Westerns is kind of the overall joke of Blazing Saddles. That's kind of the
But
fun.
everyone understands what a Western is. It's a cowboy movie.
He's not a movie watcher. You really think he understands Westerns?
Westerns as an idea, yeah.
He lives in
Right.
the West, Garrick.
All
Yes, he does. I guarantee he does.
right. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, there's going to be
High Plains Drifters are just called
That being said,
Drifters where he's
he
from.
could definitely watch Spaceballs and enjoy it for what it is.
because he has the Star Wars background.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, he could do Spaceballs. He wouldn't like it, but he could watch it and get it. He won't
Yeah.
like it.
No, probably not.
But so when I fully expect They Live is a B movie. It just is. It's not a high caliber movie. It's a cult classic and it deserves to be, but he's going to have a negative taste in his mouth after They Live. Then he's going to get to Alien and he's going to go into Alien with a bad taste in his mouth.
Not necessarily. He's given
No,
it
because
so.
no, I disagree because he doesn't have a depth of bench, so he's not going to have the same turnoffs of a slow burn movie like Memento, or the fast paced Crank movies with Jason Statham. So he might be a little bit more forgiving of a B movie than somebody who's spent their entire life watching, I don't know, rom-coms or something.
Well, he already didn't like Tremors.
Okay, so
Yeah, but the dude sat through
Given-
Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, but
all right, given that we
horror is not the genre to put a new movie watcher into.
What's a good genre? Oh.
No, horror is not the genre to introduce somebody to film to. Because it's all it's not, even for a horror movie fan, you know that 95% of the movies that you enjoy watching are absolute shit.
Well, no, I would barely 95% of the movies I watch are shit, and I'm a big fan of B and C and F grade movies.
Okay, so given that we have an idea of what his tastes are, what is a movie you'd recommend with the expectation that he would enjoy it? Genuinely.
Rudy.
American History X.
Wait, what did you say, Sean?
Rudy.
Rudy?
Fuck you and Sean Astin.
Don't you be bagging on Sean.
Oh, no.
Like A Few Good Men.
Me and John will bag on Sean.
I just
Who's
think
still alive and kicking.
I still think that Rudy is kind of his wheelhouse. That would be something that he would enjoy.
So, like Good Will Hunting?
Maybe. Underdog movies, basically, is what I'm saying. He would enjoy underdog movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Or he's got a thing for cringe, so...
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat Conquest. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this.
No, the old... wait, you're talking about the old Mortal Kombat, right?
No, it's not really an underdog movie, but yeah. Mortal Kombat. Fucking no, we're keeping him out of video game movies because the terrible ones I still enjoy the hell out of. House of the Dead is probably one of my go-to comfort. Dude, stop it.
Okay, probably the...
All right. We got this blonde-hair, blue-eyed kickboxer, right? All-American boy. Let's have him played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
And then the most badass, intimidating bad guy you can think of, a complete Nazi, like literal, just complete despot, Raul Julia.
Let's go with, you know who would be good for this? Gomez Adams.
I just want, like, where's the Die Hard?
We suggested Die Hard.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Die Hard?
Well, no. He's got a list.
Okay.
He picked the first one, but now we're voting to see
what are the movies that he has watched. He's watched Home Alone 1 and 2. He's watched Brokeback Mountain. What else?
Is Tombstone on the list?
Tombstone and Wyatt Earp are on the list.
Tombstone is much better than Wyatt Earp.
Go fuck yourself. The cast of Wyatt Earp is so much on point.
But no, look. Tombstone is a bite, and Wyatt Earp is a pie.
True.
Okay.
This is why I have her around, fellas. Pay attention.
If you want to give somebody a taste, then you give them Tombstone, because it is, first of all, best Doc Holliday ever. In any of the forms, best Doc Holliday.
I'm a big fan of Dennis Quaid, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's solid competition there.
No.
Yeah. Val Kilmer did a pretty good job. Dick of a person, but excellent.
Just the pallid, the sweaty, the huckleberry, that just all right, over.
I will give you Val Kilmer for pallid,
sure.
But Dennis Quaid is sweaty, no competition.
No, I don't mean.
I don't know if he was wearing thermal underwear, but sweaty the whole time. Method actor, amazing man.
But as far as the story, the legend, the man, Wyatt Earp, of course.
I think it was pretty interesting because both Kevin Costner and Kurt Russell have a charisma to them that really aided themselves to playing Wyatt Earp, because Wyatt Earp really only had charisma. He wasn't a particularly moral man. He wasn't a particularly good man.
Nope.
But he had his charisma, and
And good PR.
in the form of Jason Priestley, apparently. Yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, they're still talking about Mortal Kombat in chat. The new Mortal Kombat does not compare to the cast of the old Mortal Kombat, and I say that knowing Raiden was played by Christopher Lambert.
They could have done better on Liu Kang. I think everybody else they did pretty solid.
Pretty sure Christopher Lambert played every nationality under the sun except for a French guy.
Yeah, definitely was American way too. Like, hey, let's have the English or the Scottish guy playing a Spaniard, and we'll have the French guy playing a
Scots.
Highlander.
What? And it works?
Like,
why does this work?
And then let's shit on everything with part 2. Just that's alien brain babies. That's what they are.
So are y'all gonna make him watch a musical?
It's very iffy. It's very hit or miss for people if you like a musical or not.
If I was going to do a musical for Matt,
the producer,
it would be Rent, because he likes the cringe.
Not
and
fair.
there's a certain amount of cringe in Rent.
The chances of him already seeing Oklahoma and or The Music Man are probably pretty high.
Just going to school, yeah. we did it in like my junior year in like just the drama class.
Be interesting to know if he's seen Grease.
That's probably the one to start him with.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, I never saw either one of those, Music Man or Oklahoma.
I would probably do Little Shop of Horrors for the cast. And if not,
Steve Martin and Rick Moranis? Hell yes.
Yeah, Steve Martin, Rick Moranis.
Yeah, for a weird movie. If you're going for a weird movie, yeah.
John Candy, Bill Murray.
I forgot Bill Murray.
Did you remember John Candy was the narrator?
But here's the question. Is
Rocky Horror.
Is Little Shop of Horrors so good because you're familiar with all the actors in Little Shop of Horrors?
No, Little Shop of Horrors was good because I directed it in high school. It got me into college. that was my credit to getting into college. No, it's good for what it is. It is a bunch of catchy tunes that keep people interested with so a musical that's on a stage is different than Rent, or not Rent.
Grease.
Grease is a good example. That's a movie. That's a musical. Rent is done in a way, but like West Side Story has segmentation where there's certain parts that are played off to a side where it's two individuals singing to each other that a stage can be redressed. And there's no better depiction of that than Little Shop of Horrors, or oddly, Hercules. Which, funny enough, the muses in Hercules are the girls from Little Shop of Horrors. The remake, not the original, because they're not that old. But the Little Shop of Horror and the doo-wop gang from Little Shop of Horrors and the muses from Hercules would go out into the audience and entertain them during a set change. Instead of having a blocked off area that, a 2-minute pause or an intermission, it carries through the entire thing. And it's a non-stop musical entertainment extravaganza. And depending how talented your grips are, a pretty action-packed one as well.
What about What about American Psycho?
We were staying away from horror because it's not the genre of getting into movies.
I don't even like that movie, to be honest.
Well,
Me either.
okay, Diz, do you consider Alien a horror movie?
No, not particularly.
Because it does
Slow
burn.
it does fit the definition. It is kind of a
I
horror
mean,
movie.
it is. That's the genre that it's in.
Right.
But it
But when you think horror movies,
what
you don't...
what Aliens did, and I was introduced to the Alien series at Resurrection.
I'm
Ew.
sorry.
I was 13 and on a date with my boyfriend. It's fine. We made out. I didn't really see the movie. But I did grow up eventually and go back and watch the movies. It is a... What was that? 94? 95?
Resurrection?
Aliens? No. Resurrection would have been 96, 97.
I don't even think it was that late, because I think I saw it shortly after high school.
I was 13. I was 13, Alien Resurrection, for sure.
Okay.
I hope you're like 15 and I can ruin it for you like you ruined Harry Potter for me.
But the original Alien was like 1980, 79, 80. And then Aliens was like 85 or 86.
Sounds about right for Alien.
And then Alien 3 was 90?
92, 97 was Resurrection.
What the Alien franchise did was, I don't know.
86
Do you put Aliens in creature feature kind of category?
I put it in action creature. Yeah. To me, it's a shoot 'em up.
The first one?
No, Aliens.
Yeah, Aliens is an action movie. Alien is sci-fi horror.
Yeah, I would say.
I
I'd say that.
I would even venture to
Right.
say that Alien is kind of a psychological thriller too.
Yeah, it's suspense.
Mm-hmm.
For horror, that it's a good franchise. You have to accept that in the time periods where they were made, they were working with the best graphics and special effects that they had.
I think they all hold up fairly well.
But yeah, I mean, I would go ahead and say that, but I wouldn't suggest any of the other unless he's really into horror movies, because it's really only enjoyable if you're like on a date and the person you're with gets scared really easily and you get to laugh at them, or if you just like watching stuff like that.
So I should probably explain the whole reason for this project that they're doing is that Matt has a cultural void in that he doesn't have the same cultural touchstones as most people
With regards,
of my generation or even a millennial generation to make these references. Like, he's never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, so anytime you make a Ferris Bueller's reference, he doesn't understand it because he doesn't get the reference. So that's the reason that we went with Chuckers, because there's reference points.
He needs to watch Monty Python. Has he watched Monty Python?
No, and he wouldn't find it funny.
no, I mean, I don't either. But that's because British comedy kind of falls flat for the most part. There's very rare that they have good wordplay that's funny. But that's
It's so quotable. It's so quotable. It's
you French nigga.
maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. But
He probably wouldn't, because it's too culturally different from where
if what you're
mindset
seeking is to touch places you've never touched before, then you've got to watch the things that
Well,
and I'm not talking about cult classics because like, okay, so Rocky Horror Picture Show is a cult classic, and you can't even just watch the movie anymore. You have to go.
You have to have the experience.
Yes, a new person watching the movie would just be like, this is the stupidest thing ever. But if you go out to one of their stupid shows or whatever, you get caught up in all the fun and you don't really care that it's stupid because it's an amazing experience. So, like, I don't know.
So he's never going to do that. So that one's out of the mix. So what we need is movies that are going to have a political undertone that can be applicable to our current situation, that are cultural touchstones for the vast majority of Gen Xers and in some instances millennials. And
the problem that you're going to run into, you're going to expect him to really like have all this stuff by July. Like, no, if he's watching one movie a week, it'll be 2 years minimum before I would say he has enough of a foundation to kind of branch out.
I'm telling you, he's not going to last that long.
That's the problem. If he does last that long, fantastic. If not, well, so be it.
No, so that's why Tremors probably wasn't the best one to start out with, although I can see why people thought it would appeal to him because Burt Gummer is fucking awesome. But he failed to glom on to Burt Gummer watching Tremors. He didn't understand that's what the movie was about. And that's where the rest of the franchise goes because he's never seen the rest of the franchise. And he doesn't know that Burt Gummer is the true star. So, that was a miss. So the second one's going to be They Live. And They Live is going to have that undertone of commercialism that he's gonna get, but it's not a great movie. So if he's watching it to say, well, everybody says this is a great movie, he's gonna be watching it to be a great movie, not understanding that it's a great movie.
I've not seen it
because of what it covers.
Here's the problem that we're doing now. We're telling him these are movies that he has to see. If you tell somebody this is a movie you have to see, the first thing they think, this is a either culturally relevant movie or it's a great movie. And most of the movies we're recommending are neither.
Well, he'll finally get to one in Alien, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a cultural phenomenon.
Well, and you can directly apply it to this is how you take a female protagonist and make her a badass without beating up the men in the movie about she's a woman, therefore she's a badass because she's a woman. No, this just happens to be the protagonist of the movie, and she's a badass. Well, she doesn't want to be a badass. She just is a badass. It's not forced. It just is.
Yeah. Okay, so, in my opinion, if you want him to watch good movies, you have to start with things that are tied directly to America. You have to start him with movies like A Few Good Men, mobster movies, Western movies, American Sniper, The Godfather.
I think he needs to watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Yeah.
That is my favorite movie of all time, but I'm not sure he would get it.
He wouldn't.
Yeah.
Why? How wouldn't he get it?
It's not.
Well, because it's Othello.
First of all,
no, it's not Othello. It's the Odyssey.
It's the Odyssey.
And the reason it's my favorite movie is because it's based on the Odyssey, which is probably my favorite Greek myth story, intertwined with my favorite time period of America, which is right around the Great Depression, anything before World War II. So it's like that perfect sweet spot to make a perfect movie in my eyes.
For you.
For me. That's why I don't think it would be that for Matt.
Correct.
But he see movies that really have that American, grasp. Like, that's the great thing about Westerns. It really captures the American adventure and exploration and freedom kind of ideas in all of them. So he needs to watch a lot of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies, basically.
You need to sit in a theater on a rainy night and wonder why it's pouring on you, because at the end they shoot into the ceiling like assholes. Why is it so windy in this theater?
Oh,
I just want Matt to watch Super Mario Brothers.
Stop it. No.
I just
Back.
no. I don't recommend any movie based on video games.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. I don't recommend them.
I would recommend the first Resident Evil, but that's about it.
No.
No?
Well, unless he's a Resident Evil fan.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you remember character 6? We made a movie about her.
No, I really think that setting our own personal favorites aside, like I said, my personal favorite I would not recommend for him at all, because he doesn't have the background to understand what makes it so fantastic.
which is what is your favorite?
My favorite movie and the best movie of all time is Big Trouble in Little China.
The Last Dragon is taking offense with that statement.
That's a contender, but it falls short.
Yeah, like, how do you feel about black people
My
playing
favorite
Chinese
movie.
people?
My favorite movie is Lucky Number 11.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
But
It is a fantastic movie.
I would recommend for Matt movies that are most often quoted as far as in culture. So like I recommend Aliens
Scarface.
for certain because it is one of the most quotable movies there is. But in order to get there, you have to go through Alien first. So I'm in agreement with get him to Alien, let him watch an actually good movie, because They Live and Tremors aren't necessarily great movies. They're great in their own way, but they're not great movies on their own. And then we can get him started on some of the actual great movies like Aliens, and then we go on to something else. Like I don't even know if the man's seen Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters.
That is
also quotable.
I'm sorry. That is one you have to watch. Because it's the ultimate libertarian movie.
Right. I had mentioned earlier that Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You've got to get that in there.
I will contend with that.
The only one still referencing Ferris Bueller's Day Off is Steven Crowder.
Recognize it. Because I don't remember anything from that movie. As far as like a particular line that stands out.
Okay.
Life moves pretty fast, and you got to slow down every once in a while and look around, or something to that effect.
Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago.
No,
It's not even that Ferris Bueller is that quotable. It's that the
soundtrack, the ambiance, the tropes of America at the time.
Yeah.
Americana.
Yeah, skipping school, getting to drive a kick-ass Ferrari.
Well, it paved the way for all of the. There would be no American Pie without Ferris Bueller.
Correct.
There would be no. What is that? She's All That. As well. I mean, all those high school movies came from that.
Well, John Hughes movies.
Well, yes, and Breakfast Club is a must.
He didn't even know Breakfast Club was a movie. I mean, that's a direct quote from last night's show.
What? Oh.
Doesn't even know that that's a movie. And Blonde is right. She doesn't suggest that movie. And I agree with her. Because he's not gonna get it. Because that time has passed. And while that movie is incredibly relevant for the life that I led, for a man who's 15 years younger than I am, it's not going to make sense. It doesn't apply.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That being said, 16 Candles should be shown. Because you've got to get the cultural reference of Long Duck Dong.
That's a pretty out there movie, though. Yeah.
Automobile.
And it's tough to introduce somebody who has no film history
Yeah,
into
I saw
film.
Loverboy at the at a very controversial age in my life, and I am disappointed every time I deliver a pizza.
I
Can't
don't
tell
know
you
what
how many
that
times I've
means.
kicked in the door and who ordered the sausage lovers, and nobody ordered the sausage lovers. It's just disappointing. Loverboy, it's a Patrick Dempsey movie where he plays a pizza delivering gigolo. And there's a special pizza order of extra anchovies, and he goes around banging milfs.
Do we know if he's seen Top Gun?
Oh my god, no, probably.
That should be
Okay,
on the list.
that's what I'm saying. What movies has he watched? We know Home Alone 1, 2, and Brokeback Mountain. What else?
Yeah,
Star
please
Wars.
keep repeating those 3 stupid movies.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only 3 I know he's seen.
Star
And there was a
Wars. All of them.
terrible. What?
Star Wars. All of them. He's seen them.
Star. Okay. And there was that one terrible cringe movie. Whatever.
He mentioned
believe
one
you already
last night
mentioned
that
Star Wars.
that I can't think off of the top of my head that I was astounded that he had seen. But he had mentioned one that he did see. And I can't
I'll
remember
text you
what it
guys
was.
later when I finally finish watching the episode. First Blood.
Rambo?
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a suggestion or if that's the cringe movie.
80s action movies. We need to put that in his list. Like all the generic ones.
Right. Predator.
All right, see, this is the story of Commando. He's a commando,
Not
and
Commando.
he has a hot daughter, and that's the movie.
Yeah, but
You mean
he's not going to get over the fact that hot daughter is Alyssa Milano.
Soon to be hot daughter. Get it right.
Like, you
Hey,
like her, but she's underage.
I'm gonna run, you guys.
Oh,
guys.
sure.
Okay.
Bye.
Take it easy. Bye.
Later.
I'm pretty sure Garrick ran her off, and it wasn't my pedophilia.
Uh-huh.
That was like always her draw. It was just weird.
Yeah. Shit.
It's like, why are you glistening right now, child?
Oh, so that's it, Sean? We're just... Oh, wait. What did you post?
Somebody mentioned the man with a man of constant sorrow, so I put a link to the best version of that song that I know.
Oh.
So with John Goodman and George Clooney?
It is not, because that is not the best version of that song that I know.
But I really like that version when they're in the
It's
studio
good.
and it's chick.
It's good, but it's not the version that I linked.
I heard a version of Paparazzi that's awesome. That is absolutely not Lady Gaga. But I can't think of who it is by, but it's a very metal version.
I heard a metal version of 99 Problems, and I thought that was pretty kick-ass. But yeah, I think we need to narrow down. I mean, we spent 3 hours a couple of weeks ago going over this huge list that Matt needs to watch this and Matt needs to watch that, and I agreed with most of them, but we really got to whittle that down to a dozen that are going to count.
Yeah, what are we at? June almost? Oh no, we just started March. So yeah, get it down to like 3 dozen that we can fight.
I said 3 dozen, then we get him to the end of the year, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, actually, Manson's version of Tainted Love is pretty good.
That's the one he's talking about.
From the hell's that movie? Not Another Teen Movie. with Chris Evans in the whipped cream bikini. Don't recommend any parody movies like that. He wouldn't understand. Like, hey, why's that guy got a banana in his butt?
You want to give him a parody movie, you could probably do Top Secret.
Is it a parody, though?
Yes. It's a parody of the Blue Lagoon, all James Bond movies, all spy flicks. It's a parody of like 3 different genres of movies.
I'll be right back.
With Hot Shots. That's a good one. No? Nothing? Nobody?
It's okay. If he's going to watch a Charlie Sheen movie, I want it to be the one that he did with Emilio Estevez that I can never remember the goddamn name of. The hell is that movie? Men at Work? No.
Oh, I need to watch All Space. I've never seen that.
Men at Work. Yeah, it is Men at Work. I guess you could get him to watch Young Guns. That would probably be one that he'd watch.
Maybe.
Jay's gone all quiet now that Diz left. Do you have a sad Jay Fry?
Yeah, he's depressed. Jay, old buddy, old pal. No, nothing. Oh well. Friday Night Lights. I thought that was a TV show.
It was. It was a movie first.
Oh, okay. Shows how much I know. But yeah, again, I think we really need to play to his strengths, not, try to force him into weird corners of the movie space.
Oh, I hate how much I like Charlie Sheen movies.
Oh, is that what you were doing?
No, I was peeing. But no, like I was thinking like Above the Law, Men at Work, Hot Shots.
Young Guns.
Young Guns, yeah. Well, that's a whole damn family. That entire cast is great.
Yeah.
And Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips, Kiefer Sutherland, Emilio Estevez.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like a shrunk down version of Predator.
Oh shit! What's that Western movie with Danny Glover? Is it Lonesome Dove?
No idea.
No idea. I know the Western movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.
Also, did y'all see? Speaking of new movies, did y'all see the new Venom trailer?
No.
No, my wife just showed me the splash advert when we got started for the Carnage movie.
Yeah.
So I'll watch that after. I still have yet to see Venom.
What?
Yeah,
It's
I haven't
actually
seen it yet.
I don't remember Danny Glover in Unforgiven. Is it Unforgiven? I don't remember Danny Glover in Unforgiven.
No, that was what's the other? Not Forrest Whitaker. God damn it. Morgan Freeman.
David?
Bill
Oh,
Duke.
I'm going through his filmography. I'll let you know. It's an older movie. I need to go way back.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, I said Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Danny Glover. That's what you're going through. Okay, I was like,
Yeah, pretty much. So.
He was in Predator 2. That takes place in the West. If the LA is West.
LA West, yes. LA is technically the West. So there's a good question. Do you recommend Chinatown as a movie for Matt to watch?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, I would recommend the Two Jakes before I'd recommend Chinatown.
I think the Two Jakes is a better movie. But you kind of need to have watched Chinatown before you watch the Two Jakes.
Yeah, fine.
LA Confidential. That's one that he needs to watch, I think.
Yeah. Yes, 100% agree.
Somebody should get that over to Rebecca.
I like Eric.
I second that.
Because I'm pretty sure she muted me.
All right, I'll send it over to her. She's been more responsive on Instagram, so I'll send it that way.
Okay.
Pretty sure she muted me on Instagram.
What did you do?
Picture of her breastfeeding, and I called dibs on next.
Yeah, makes
I
sense.
believe that might have been it.
Yep, I was right. It's Lonesome Dove. Wait. Oh yeah, that's true. Diane Lane's in that movie. Forgot about that.
My favorite Western.
Wait, that's not.
Is like,
but that is one of.
Is in Australia, and it's called. I think it's The River Runs Through It.
Silverado. That's the one I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, damn it! I knew that.
Yeah, that's a good Western movie. Mm-hmm.
How to be an honest liberal. Instead of saying China is authoritarian, say I have no understanding of the current political climate. So currently in trending is Leonardo DiCaprio, COVID updates for the state that you live in. Thank you, nurses. Israel launches deadly airstrikes on Gaza following Hamas rocket fire on Jerusalem after violence at the city's Al-Aqsa Mosque. And Atlas shrugged. So, what an eclectic grouping. I think we're about done here.
Yeah, we're having some stream issues for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. It's not pumping it out, and I think they're getting timed out. Wonder why that is. Anywho, if we're done here, then we can transition to that. And we got anything else? What do we expect to happen the rest of this week? Anything?
U.S. is going to condemn Hamas, and we're probably going to go to war for Israel. Because, funsies.
Yay.
That's about it.
All right, then.
All right, we'll go. Let's take this to off hours. Get it going over there.
So, I guess say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night all.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what beautiful nation. All you need is the will.